Sister's wedding, my parents demanded I give her the $450,000 house I built myself. When I refused, my father snapped and struck me with a metal cake stand, sending me to the floor. The room fell silent until my sister's fiancé revealed a truth that shattered my parents' world. I stared at the blood dripping onto my tailored suit, the cold marble floor pressing against my cheek. The silence in the ballroom was deafening. My own father stood over me, his chest heaving, holding a heavy, silver-plated metal cake stand. It was dented from the force of him slamming it into the side of my face. "You selfish, ungrateful piece of trash," he bellowed, his voice echoing off the vaulted ceilings. "After everything we did for you, your sister deserves that house, and you will sign it over to her today." Let's back up. I'm 28. For the past 4 years, I poured every single dollar, every drop of sweat, and every waking hour into building a custom 4-bedroom modern farmhouse on a plot of land I bought entirely on my own. It was appraised at $450,000. It was my masterpiece, my sanctuary. My family, however, viewed it as a free handout from my golden child younger sister Chloe. Chloe had never worked a day in her life. She was marrying Julian, a guy from a wealthy, highly respected family in our city. My parents wanted to look elite. They wanted Chloe to walk into a luxury, debt-free home to match Julian's status. The problem? They were broke, having mortgaged their own lives to fund Chloe's lavish lifestyle. So they volunteered my house, without asking. An hour before the ceremony, in the private groom's suite, my parents and Chloe cornered me. My mother handed me a quitclaim deed. "Sign it," she said, smiling like she was doing me a favor. "Chloe needs a proper marital home. You can just build another one." I laughed, thinking it was a sick joke. It wasn't. When I flatly refused, Chloe threw a tantrum, screaming that I was ruining her life. My mother called me a parasite, but I held my ground. I walked out and took my seat in the front row for the ceremony, thinking the public setting would protect me. I was wrong. During the reception, after the cake cutting, my father called me up to the stage under the guise of a family toast. Instead, he grabbed the mic and whispered, "Last chance, boy. Sign it or I ruin you in front of everyone. Touch me and I call the cops." I whispered back. That's when he snapped. He grabbed the heavy metal cake stand from the table and swung it full force into my jaw. Gasps tore through the crowd. I hit the floor hard, my vision blurring. Blood pooled in my mouth. My mother stepped forward not to check on me, but to cover for him. She grabbed the microphone. "Ladies and gentlemen, please relax. My son has been dealing with severe mental health issues. He tried to attack his father just now over a family property dispute. We are handling it." The guests murmured, looking at me with disgust and pity. Chloe looked triumphant. My father sneered down at me. I felt completely isolated, betrayed by the people who raised me, publicly humiliated in the worst way possible. Then Julian stepped forward. Chloe's fiancé, the man whose family my parents had spent months trying to impress. Julian didn't look at Chloe. He walked right past her, knelt down on the floor, and helped me sit up. He handed me his silk pocket square to press against my bleeding face. "Are you okay, man?" Julian asked softly. "I'm fine," I croaked, spitting blood. Julian stood up, turning to face my father. The room went dead silent. "Julian, darling, come away from him," my mother pleaded, her voice trembling. "He's unstable." "The only unstable people here are you two," Julian said. His voice wasn't loud, but it cut through the room like a razor. Julian pulled his phone out of his pocket and tapped the screen. A second later, the massive projector screens on the walls, which were supposed to be showing a slideshow of Chloe and Julian's childhood photos, flickered. An audio track began to play through the venue's surround sound speakers. It was a recording from the groom's suite an hour earlier. "Sign it. Chloe needs a proper marital home. You can just build another one. Sign it or I ruin you in front of everyone." It was all there. The extortion, the greed, the calculated plan to rob me. Julian had accidentally left his iPad on record in the suite while setting up his vows. He had listened to the whole thing. The entire wedding guest list heard it. The whispers turned into horrified stares directed straight at my parents. "Julian," Chloe whimpered, reaching for his arm. "What are you doing?" Julian pulled away from her, disgust written all over his face. "The wedding is off." "Chloe, I'm not marrying into a family of thieves and psychopaths." My mother fainted onto a nearby table. My father turned completely pale, the cake stand slipping from his hand and clattering to the floor. Their social standing, their dignity, and their bank accounts were utterly destroyed in a matter of seconds. Julian helped me stand up. "Let's get you to the hospital," he said. As we walked out of the venue, I looked back one last time. Chloe was sobbing on the floor in her white dress, and my father was being surrounded by 3 off-duty cops who happened to be guests. They wanted my house. Instead, they lost everything.